Uh, Hello, Dua. Do you hear me? Your mic is mute. Yeah, you're mute.
Is it okay now?
Yeah.
Hello?
Thank
Okay.
you. Good. That's good. Okay. Hello, good morning and good afternoon to the audience who is listening from different time zones. This is Kamal Bukhari, Senior Lecturer at Barry University Lahore campus. I welcome you all for today's another exciting and interactive session. Women empowerment and economic development are closely related. In one direction, development alone can play major role in driving down inequality between men and women. In the other direction, empowering women may benefit development. When it comes to economic development, we see projects which are being undertaken to create a revenue stream for the organizations to sustain their economic need. So we'll discuss today a lot about project management, but with very beautiful and colorful people today. I mean women. So we will be going to get insight from them how they have been contributing towards the success, or not only the success, but the benefit they are actually contributing towards the organizations for their economic stability. I'm going to start with Sir Essen. Sir, thank you so much for making this happen today. And I'm handing over to you to start with a bit introduction of the audience.
Thank you, Kamal. Thank you for arranging this seminar since we are in different time zones. So good morning to Marisa and good afternoon to the people and participants joining from Pakistan. It feels different to be among beautiful and lovely and learned women. And I hope that today we are going to learn a lot from all three of you. Starting with Marisa. Marisa, thank you very much. First, you've been very kind and facilitating us to join this seminar, taking the time out. I know it's in morning there. I hope you had a nice breakfast also. I often disturb Marisa regarding my training, seeking her help off and on, and now we have her on this seminar. I have a long list of certifications of Marisa. And correct me, Marisa, if I'm wrong, you are the only female, I think, globally with so much certifications. Am I right?
I haven't done the test, maybe, but I'm sure there are many more qualified women out there. But thank you.
Okay, okay. She's PMP, she's Prince 2, she's Prince 2 Agile, MOP, MSP, and the list goes on and on. She's an advisor, an educator, international speaker, and a long list of experience, especially in PMO and in project management. So I'm very happy that she has joined us today. We're definitely going to learn a lot from her experience and exposure globally. And then we have Dwasha. Well, what can I tell about Dwasha? A speaker, a trainer, a mentor, a project manager, and an entrepreneur and a businesswoman. We're going to learn from Dwasha that how she's implementing all the project management skills in her business and in the new ventures. I had been with Dwasha in a number of different trainings. I found her an excellent trainer and speaker also. So Dwa, welcome on this board. Thank you for your time, for coming to this webinar, and we are looking forward to hearing you also.
Thank you very much, San, and thank you very much for all the rest of the participants as well for making me a part of this very informative and effective session. So I hope we all can, give a very good form of information to all our listeners through this platform. Yeah, thank you very much.
Yes, definitely. And then we have Amna Zedi, the bright and brilliant graduate of Bahria University Masters in Project Management program. We're going to talk about her journey, not only in Bahria University, but how she find the overall degree program. And the most important question Kamal is going to ask her, why she picked project management as a career. So we'll definitely want to know that why she entered into this project management program, what she learned, and how she's implementing all these skills that she learned within this program into her real life and in her experience. So Kamar, I'm not going to hold you anymore. So over to you. You just bombard these wonderful women with long list of questions because I can't wait more to hear the answers from these three wonderful women. Over to you, Kamar. Thank you.
So
Thank
thank
you
you
so
so
much,
much. Thank
Sir
you so much.
SN, for the kind words. And it's a great opportunity to be a part of such learned people. And once again, thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you, Amna. Welcome on board. Sir Hassan, thank you so much. I always really thankful to you because you always come towards the whenever we want to arrange anything, you always come ahead and support us. Thank you so much. So, ladies, be ready. We are going to have a lot of questions. When we floated the flyer to our audience, the alumni, students, they were very excited to hear about from you that how women are playing vital role in project management. Because this is one thing that and every nation has to flourish for. Like they have to go for the projects so they can become more stable in context economic way. So starting with Marisa, uh, you know, when we talk about project management, then we think about the stage that we have, what will be for the next 4 or 5 years, or the duration what we are taking the project management. So my first question is from you is that what is in the future of project management in global perspective?
Mhm. Thank you, Kamar, and thank you, Hassan. Just before starting, let me just reiterate my thank you for having me. It's a great honor, a great pleasure to be with you, and also say hi to my co-speakers, Amina and Dua. Thank you also to all the participants. Quite happy to be here and to share my views with you. So now, answering your question, I think we are living in a project economy. It's fair to say, where the world evolves through projects, and it's more and more clear that that's the way to go. Projects, they turn dreams into reality. They make strategies happen. They make the world go on. Now, when we think about the future of project management, I think that needs to consider also some of the trends that we are starting to see just now, like, for instance, the popularity of agile. I think that the world is evolving to be much and much more agile in a way that we need to adapt to new challenges. Some of them that weren't expected at all, like, for instance, how we are reacting now to the pandemic. So that would be one of the key ways that I see the world of project management progressing. This is not to say that we'll need to just be working with agile, doing agile in our projects as a delivery method, but indeed understanding that we need to be agile in how we are addressing those challenges and the new type of projects that we get, because those also tend to be much and much more complex as well as complicated. So in that case, it's not enough just to follow good practices or best practices. We'll need to always start to think ahead, to start thinking what will be the next big thing, to start exploring new approaches. And that is one of the things for which we'll need to be adaptive for. Then, of course, with the development of technology, I also see the role of artificial intelligence and big data also playing an important part in the future of project management. Of course, we always had information available, but now with technology at our disposal, I think we are going to make much better use of our time, save on efficiencies, and then be able to use what the different tools are giving us to do better analysis and use our time more wisely in project management. Finally, I would just say that also when it comes to the future of project management, I see us thinking more about the context for the project. So not just managing projects, but also managing for projects, ensuring that we have the right conditions to start a project. So the importance of the project front end rather than just doing the project. So at a glance, that would be my three topics explaining where I see the future of project management going.
Thank you, Marisa. Coming to Dua Shah. Dua, are you there? Ready?
Yes.
Okay. My first question is that I see that you were in trainings with Sir Hassan and Sir Shawaz, and you were doing like excellent work over there. So my question is
Thank you very
that
much.
how do you think to come into this field of project management?
Well, I have actually, when I did my MBA, specialized in project management from Limpopo University of Creative Technology, Malaysia. I thought that okay, I've done my education, so I should proceed, myself as a project manager. But to be very honest, when I get entered into this business world, I actually realized that project management is not a job that you are going to perform. I realized that project management starts from the day you realize that you have to be organized, from the day you realize that you have to be responsible. It could be the age of 10, it could be the age of 12, it could be the age of 15 or 20. Whenever you start organizing your things, whenever you start, writing down your tasks and giving yourself a deadlines, targets, whenever you think about a time management, you think your project management starts. So I believe if you ask me that when and how I started this, technically I said I started this after when I finished my MBA. When I get into the business world, I need to manage a lot of things. But slowly, gradually, after the experience, I realized no, my project management starts when I wake up every day until I sleep. So when I wake up, my all days, everyday tasks, even small tasks, they are basically a project management. How do I do that? To maintain my own personal life, to maintain my own professional life, and to maintain my relationship. Everything is, I take it as a project. So if I answer this conceptually, I believe when I started realizing my own responsibilities, I started doing this project management.
That's good, Dua. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I always feel energetic when I meet with my students that they can say that I want to join project management. Just I studied this, right? So it is
Yeah.
very good to see that what you have studied that you are implementing in your field, right?
Yeah.
That's great. Coming to you, Amna,
Yeah.
Marisa told us few things like artificial intelligence, project economy. That is future of project management. How we'll be dealing with the field, that how we are going to tackle that different methodologies in the field of project management. So my question is from you that is there any thought behind when you joined the field of project management or joined the class of Miss PM over here at Perry University Lahore campus? What was your thought process behind this? How you have been established that you need to go for the project management study there?
Yeah. So, Gable, thank you very much. That's a very interesting question. And I basically I'm a student of marketing and finance. And after that, as you know, I've worked in banking sector and I'm currently working in a leading FMCG sector. So what I realized that in most of the organizations, they're actually working in projects. Everything which is a projectized or non-projectized organization, they are currently working in the project nature. And you have been given certain projects, so either you are a student of are you coming from a background of finance or from marketing or from IT, that doesn't make any difference. What you need to do is that you need to be efficient and intelligent enough to handle those projects which are running simultaneously. And the projects are so much demanding, their complexity in the nature, and then it's unforeseen nature. So you need to have a skill set built in you for that. So then when I started working in different organizations, and then I have worked in the finance department in the banks and then the marketing department in FMCG. So I realized that you need to have a very clear idea that how you need to achieve your objectives and goals within a given constraints. Because when you talk from the perspective of organization, they always do have a lot of constraints, and yet you have to manage your objectives and goals within those scope, schedule, and budget and timelines. So how are you going to do that without having a proper background from the project management? So even like I completed my MBA in the year 2008. So after like 11 years, I started my studies again while working in Nestle, and then on weekends I started doing this MSPM, and it was a wonderful journey. So that was the inspiration, and since it was an emerging field, so I thought why not to jump into it.
That's
Yeah.
good. Thank you, Amna. Thank you so much. Sarasan, I'm feeling young today. It's bit like feeling among three beautiful women. I feeling that I am someone who is very famous. You know. Okay, so my question is, you did your PMP back in 2005. Since then, since then and today. What do you think? How many females have come into this field, and do you see people are coming into it, and specifically women? Are they coming participating into these trainings or coming for PMP certification? Is the number is increasing?
Well, first of all, I was sitting back, relaxed, listening to the wise words of these women. I never thought that you will be asking questions from me also. But okay, yes, I did my PMP in 2005. At that time, I remember in Pakistan, there were only like 20 or 30 people certified in project management. This buzzword was totally new, not only to the people, but also to the organizations. I remember that it took me like 1.5 year to convince my management, my organization. I was at that time working in a public sector organization, a utility company. So it took me a lot of time to convince them that this is one of the skills that is needed in projects. And like Dua said, that it is like a norm of life that you have to live for. And then now it's been a decade. I've been involved with universities, giving so many trainings, teaching so many students from BBA to MBA to MSPM. And I remember that the first MSPM, it was started in 2011 and 12 in our capital city in Islamabad. And that was the only university started this program in MSPM. But now sitting today in 2020, if you compare that, almost every other second university has started this Masters in Project Management program. If you see the number of PMP professionals in Pakistan, it crossed thousands. So there are thousands of PMP certified people in Pakistan, not only PMP, but I see people certified getting certifications in Agile and Scrum and so many areas. And the good thing to see here is that I have seen an exponential increase, especially from the female side. More and more women, they are participating not only in the trainings, but they are also coming in the master's program. At that time, there was not a single female. I remember that till 2010, we hardly see any female getting a certification or even in the role of a project manager. When I talk about as a role of a project manager, that means as a designation as a project manager. Uh, since then, now if I compare it as compared to 2005 or even 2010, you can see there are a lot of women, they have agile certifications, they are working in the IT field, like Amna said, they are in the banking field, they are in the financial sector, they're in the marketing sector, and in every other class that I teach in different degree programs, you see the count of the female students, it's increasing. And whenever you ask those students that why you have chosen this field as a career choice, they always give you a logical answer. It's not just like that my parents said to come into this field, or my friend said that, okay, this is a very good field, you can get a good job out of it, so that's why you start doing it. But you find a logical answer that this is the need of the hour. This is the need that everyone needs to understand. Either you are doing business, or even if you want to live your life in organized manner, these are the skills that you need. So I always focus that project management is just not only for working and applying in the organization. It starts with your own self. You start applying on yourself. So definitely there are more women coming into it. I know many women, especially one example is Marisa. I like in the start, I said that she got a lot of certifications. So she's a motivation for all those female students. Like Amna, she did MSPM. Like Dua, she's applying those skills in her entrepreneur business and all those ventures that she had started. So these are the examples that we have. We do not have these examples like 10 years back. You hardly find any women where you can ask that, okay, are you a certified project manager or are you working in the project management field? But yes, today we have these three wonderful women. I'm pretty sure that if we are going to do this seminar or a seminar like this, where we will talk about the role of the women, we can have much more participants and more speakers, especially female. So yes, things are positive. Female are entering into this field. They are working hard. They are working alongside with men, and they are proving themselves that they are an equal part of the society. And especially, that buzzword that we used to talk that, okay, this is only for engineers, but now that thing is transformed. You can find these certified professional, and I'm talking about female. I know many female I work with in different organizations. They are they have more certifications than I have, and I feel proud of that my students and my counterparts, my peer who are female, they are growing in this field. So it's a positive sign, and I'm sure that in coming years, in coming time, like Marisa said, the global perspective, that like the things are changing, more female will come into this, and they will flourish in this field of project management?
Sir, thank you. The stigma that we call is the women are not, or the project management field precisely is male dominant. Now, this is not the right thing. Now we are seeing equal participation from men and women. Like I personally see the class where a lot of female students are coming in and they are studying project management. Marisa, coming to you. Uh, Considering the situation in Pakistan, we are still a growing economy, right? And we see the situation here is that we are having females very educated, but they have don't not having any direction, specific direction where they can go. Uh, Talking about project management, I want a question from you that how or being female, considering the job opportunities globally in the context of project management, what do you suggest? Should they go for the project management certifications precisely?
Mm, Yes, I would say so, because that's always a good entry point. However, I would also advise or do a brief remark that having a certification is not synonymous of being the best in your field. So it's the same thing as having a driving license. It doesn't mean that you are a good driver at the end of the day, but it will ensure that you understand what the road signs mean, what the other drivers expect from you. So the same thing when we have a certification that levels the field in the way that we are always using the same terminology, using the same roles, the same expectations, and then of course we can align for that route. When we look into the market, and sometimes even the professionals who do the job at adverts, so the human resources departments, they are not fully involved in project management. They don't know what the field requires, but nevertheless, they still know that one of the entry requirements would be a certification. So even if that does not mean that you will be a successful professional just by holding a certification, I think that from a market perspective, from a job perspective, it is still something that you should consider. And in that case, now with the evolution of the industry, there are so many certifications to choose from that indeed ensuring that you have the most appropriate ones for the type of work that you will be doing, for the type of industry, even for the geographical location that you'll be working, I think is quite key.
Thank you, Marisa. That's very helpful. Uh, Again, next question from you again, that does it pay off to work in project management, especially for the females they want to earn for their families?
Mhm. Yes, I would say so. And I hope you are hearing me well, because I was having some troubles with the
If
connection.
we talk about
So,
like for the financial benefits, does
mhm.
yeah, I can hear you.
Excellent. Yes, so I think it definitely pays off. It's still one of the, if you look into, for instance, the salary surveys that came out every year for the profession of project management, being a project manager, PMO manager, any of the different roles, it is still one of the best paid compared with other jobs, and having a certification definitely contributes for it. Now, it's also very worth doing or working in project management from a personal perspective also, because it's very enriching, very fulfilling, I would say, the realization that you are actually contributing to build something, either a business change or an actual product or a service. So it pays off financially as well as personally from the emotional side.
From this answer, from your answer, I want to get another question. In which fields you have worked as a project manager, or you manage projects in different fields? So can you list down few names of the fields that can help the females that they can go in and do projects for those fields?
Mhm. Yes. Well, project management, as Dua started by saying, it's a competence. So it's something that it's required regardless of the industry that you are working on. I think that in fact we all start by being accidental project managers, not realizing that we are actually using that competence, and then we progress to make that realization and then to have a formal background in it. Now, of course, being necessary competence in all doesn't mean, of course, that it should not be explored. In fact, if you are to be a competent project management, I would, of course, advise going to study that field, knowing what the certifications can offer you, and then, of course, experience different areas so as you can gain a much more rich experience if you do so. On that note, also, important to say that this can also lead to interesting discussions about what is then meant by the project management profession, given that if everyone is a project manager at the end of the day, then who in fact is the project manager? So we all have mathematics at school, so it's a skill, a competence that is required for life, but we are not all mathematicians. So the same thing would apply to project management. Now, going back to your original question about what industries, I think there are opportunities in all industries, but from a global panorama, I would say that nowadays construction as well as IT still are two of the most profitable ones to be involved with.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Dua, how have you been doing in project management? What is your experience? That how you felt about it, and considering this field of project management, you know, in Pakistan precisely we have more men are working in this field. So do you feel any resistance while doing in projects, or you are feeling comfortable in this field?
Okay. Okay. There are two questions basically you asked. That one is that how I am feeling, my experiences, and then what is the difference between male and female project management. So before I answer this, I would like to say that I believe, this is my point of view, that I believe everybody is, as Marisa said, I completely second with her. Everybody is a project manager. Everybody have that skill, right? Even if it's a kid and a teacher is giving him or her any task, and he has to complete that task, that's a project for him, right? If a girl has to get married soon in 6 months, so how she's going to plan her marriage and everything is again a project for her, and she has to manage it very well. If a housewife, she has to cook something for her family, so how she's going to cook, how far, I mean, how many dishes she's going to cook, and how time she's going to take is again a project manager. So it depends that who is making it profession, you know. So first of all, it's like not male. It's not about male and female. It's about everybody is a project manager, even a kid, even male or female or whoever. So now the point is that who is making it a profession? Yes. In old times, there were so many male who were accepting it as a profession, project manager. Nowadays, females are coming into it. But if you ask me that who is better and what is the difference, I believe female can be a better project manager. The sad part is they are coming now. But as if they are coming now, and if we compare, why a female can be a better project manager? Because that skill of management is more powerful in female than male. If you see, since ages and since centuries, it's female who is managing the house. It's female who is managing the kids. It's female who has more responsibility of basically a management, right? So we never see it in a way. We never add the word project if she has to cook something. We never add the word, that shopping is a project. We never say that. But basically, woman is a project manager. So sadly, as I said, men accepted it as a profession. So we used to say, okay, men, there are too many men in project manager, female are coming now. But I believe females are since, ages and centuries. So this is what I believe. And if now female are accepting it as a profession too, I think they will win the race if we compare that. As far as your second question is that about my experiences, how my experiences have been in this field. See, I after my graduation, my post-graduation, I started lecturing in Malaysian University for 2 good years, and after that 2 years job, I realized that I'm not for 9 to 5, and I should start into I should start work on my own ventures and I should come into a business world. So I moved to Dubai and started my own business. And since then, it's been 5 years. I'm involved in so many startups and giving business consultancies and handling so many projects. So what I learned is that, see, I did not choose to be a project manager, right? I choose to be an entrepreneur. I choose to start a different ventures. But for that, I badly needed that project management skill. So I think there is no field in this world that cannot lead you to the success without having the project management skill. Now it's up to you. You are entirely making a project manager as your profession, or your profession is something else, but you accept that to get success in my field, I need to be skillful in project management. So project management is everywhere for everyone, like no matter what field is, no matter what your profession is. So my experience is that I am a successful business consultant, or I have successfully handled few projects, my own personal projects, due to having a very excellent skills of project management. So at the moment, I'm running few ventures. I'm supporting different women who all those women who want to start their own businesses, a home-based business or online business. And how do I support them? I give them, yes, there is a financial support, but very little. But how do I support them? By giving them skill of project management. And trust me, whoever I have handled, all the ladies who are in ties with me, and I'm mentoring them, or I'm suggesting them what they should do, a part of the financial part, I am basically giving them the skill of project management, and they are doing very good. So this is my experience of project management.
Thank you, Dua. From your talk, like cooking, I pick. I can only cook egg, which can be burnt end of the day. And my wife is behind me that what you did. Yeah. Okay. Thank you. Thank you so much. So Amna, from
Yes.
this cooking, this cooking perspective, right? Once I told you that PMP is a recipe which has 49 processes, means 49 ingredients that can eventually as a whole can be cooked as, and you can find out something end of the day, that is project management. So talking about your journey at Bahari University, how do you find your like your study at Bahari University, and
Yeah.
what was the program as a whole you can find out?
It was an excellent and a wonderful journey. And the best thing was that we had wonderful faculty, like very, very highly qualified and then experienced faculty. And the perfect thing was that there was a very nice blend between the academics and their professional learnings, because they have been in the professional lives as well. And they all had professional experiences in their fields, and they were linking those concepts with the academics. And then secondly, we had the faculty which had not only the national experience but also the international experience. I think that added a lot of value to our program. And overall, it was not, we were not following a very traditional approach of just following a book and then completing with the 6 chapters. It was more of a practical learning, because the class fellows we had, they all had a practical knowledge of at least 5 to 10 years. And then we used to have a discussion on our learnings as well, and that used to add a flavor in the lecture. And I think overall it was very nice the way they taught and made it interesting, because for us mostly we were like the weekend students, and we were studying for the 2 days, and the rest of the 5 days we were working from 9 to 6 in the offices, so it was also very hectic. So those 2 days, I think that used to bring an color, a flavor in our lives, because of the learning and the experiences we had there. And secondly, there was a very good point about that, is that they really promised the timelines. Because I have seen in many universities, they say that it's going to end in a definite time period, but that doesn't happen. Like, I opted for a thesis, and I was lucky enough that I completed within the mentioned duration, within the promised duration, and then I was done with it. So I would recommend it to people, that it was a beautiful journey.
Thank you, Amna, and thank you so much for praising me that I was also part of faculty. Thank you,
Yeah,
thank you so
yeah,
much.
sir.
Thank you. Okay, Marisa, we have very diverse faculty over, as Amna said. We have Sir Hassan here. We have a lot of other people who has, few of them have PMP certification with them also. that license to drive vehicle. Uh, Considering the project management field again, I always go to the Pakistani perspective, because I'm from Pakistan. So I want like global perspective aligned with the Pakistani context, and it should go to the audience that is listening from us, that what is happening. So question over here is, how you have started your career for the project management?
Well, I started my career in project management almost by chance, in a way. So I applied to be a part of a trainees group in a consulting company here in Portugal. And then while that consulting company did project management, they also did pure business consulting. They also worked in business analytics, etc. And I then had a brief overview of all the areas, and this lasted for 3 months with pure training exercises. We were being evaluated on our task assignments, of course. So it's almost like a mini class, a mini discipline that I had to complete. And as part of that, we were also gaining contact with clients, of course, doing very junior tasks at the time. And it made sense. I fall in love immediately with what project management was about, having to identify what was the scope of the work, what was out of scope, also building a schedule for it, delivering against constraints, managing the expectations of our customers and all the other stakeholders, working with a team. So from there, I've never looked back, and I never stopped. It's fair to say. In that area in particular, I was then selected to be part of the PMO team, and that is also where I then specialized in that area, so a project management office. So I started by producing what would be the processes, the ways of working for that consulting company, so for all my colleagues, consultants. And then at that time, I was responsible for the Portuguese as well as for the Spanish team. And after that, I just evolved in my career, becoming then head of the Competency Center for Project Management, PMO manager also, and then also responsible for the Quality Assurance Department. Then in 2003, I moved to the United Kingdom. And in there, I also started by working in a PMO. So at Oxford University Press, so publishing house, and then going back to consultancy. I think it's in me. I do like to interact with clients and work with multiple projects at the same time. So that's what I'm currently doing. So since, about 4 years and a half, I'm a senior consultant at a company called Wellington, where I work as a project manager for the implementation of PPM tools, so project portfolio management tools. And I also do business change projects like setting up PMOs, doing maturity assessments, or working with clients defining what their project management processes and ways of working will be. At the site, I've also been highly involved with the community. So I do have a fair amount of hobbies, not just involved with the PMI Portugal here, that's where I started, also involved with the IPMA and crew for some time, and then doing other volunteering positions with Project Managers Without Borders, Project Managers Against Poverty, and nowadays also with the PMO Global Alliance.
That's great. I'm jealous.
Well, you can also apply. Everyone can join.
Okay, that's good. Okay, Marisa. Like a lot of questions coming, and people are calling me, texting me that there is a long list of questions that as we don't have some time, that if I combine those questions, so it sums up like the one question. In this context, I want to add one thing as well. I saw you just written a book, Bedtime Stories for Project Managers.
Yes.
Yeah, for China. I believe I just
I have
saw
the
your...
Greek version to review in my hands now. It will be launched soon as well.
So I wish I have that book in soft copy with me. I wish. Well,
I'll
it
try to
depends
send you
the
one,
copyright
Kumar.
Okay, that's great. So my question is, you even never left any project manager to sleep quietly. You publish a book with the name of Bedtime Stories. So you want to have project managers to study project management when they are going to sleep? What is
Well,
that?
I want them to have good dreams about project management, because some of our projects can easily sometimes become a nightmare if they are not managed successfully. So seeing what the good dreams about project management could look like. What the book is about, by the way, it's a combination of project management principles with fairy tales. So even for someone that is new to project management, just seconding what Dua said about even kids can learn about project management, and they should. That's indeed the principle, that anyone can use project management principles by reading the book. And even more experienced project managers, can then refresh their knowledge and have a different perspective about teams that they are already familiar with.
Yeah, that's good. I will be waiting for the book, the soft copy of the book.
Thank you. Thank you. And I'm quite satisfied, happy with the result. I never imagined that it would be so popular, because it's a light reading. It's just 100 pages. But everyone has been praising it, and it's now published in Portuguese, English, Spanish, Chinese, French, I'm missing one, Arabic, and then it's going to be soon released in Greek.
That's great. That's great. I'm coming back to you for against the PMO Global Alliance, the speech you were going to give on that day. But before that, I'm going to the Saracen, because Saracen is also part of that speech. So Saracen, your take here.
No, again me. Okay. Okay. So about my take on PMO, the speech that I will be delivering. Yes, I think it's been now a third year that I'm attached with PMO Global Alliance. I started working as a volunteer with PMO Global Alliance in 2017, where I represented the PMO of my organization. That was the first experience. And at that time, I realized that this is something that I had to explore further, and I had to attach myself permanently with this PMO Global Alliance, because I found that alliance and the people working within that group, they are much learned and knowledgeable people, and especially as far as the PMO principles and the values and the framework is concerned. And then they, after 1 year of journey with them, they put me in an assignment as a judge in PMO Global Awards. So now it's been my second year being as a judge in PMO Global Awards. I participated in as a PMO leader from Pakistan. And luckily, I've been selected top 16 PMO global leaders reach in the semifinal. So that's a big distinction for me, as I consider myself among those 16 people who are selected in that. And based on that, then, once you, like Marisa said, that once you start working as a volunteer, once you start, you identify the right opportunity where you see growth and chance of learning. Once you join that particular, either it's a group, it's a community, or whatever it is, then you never look back. You just keep on growing. And that's what's happening with me. I started by just participating as one single entity in that PMO Global Alliance, but now I've been speaking in the upcoming PMO Global Awards convention, or the seminars and all that stuff. And one of the panel speakers with another discussion that will be going on in the PMO Global Awards. So it's a big learning opportunity for me. And even I never look back, and I see much more opportunities. I've been in continuously in contact, like I'm in contact with Marisa. She will be speaking in the PMO Global Awards also. Then we have another Americo Pinto, who is the main person behind this PMO Global Alliance. We've been communicating with him off and on. So this is not only a great learning from me, but Kumar, also that we've been giving input of all these learnings into our students also. I've been discussing with these things with you off and on, that how the global things are changing, because the day I became the judge with the PMO Global Alliance, and I gone through the presentations of all the big PMOs around the world. And that was the time I realized that where are we standing? How much gap we have that we need to cover as far as the Pakistan PMO community is concerned, because they are the global world, as far as the PMO is concerned, they're moving way fast if I compare it with Pakistan. So that is the learning opportunity I got from there. And that is the thing that now I'm imparting, not only within my organization, but I am also imparting this within the community that I've been working in, within my students, so that at least they should know that how the global dynamics are changing. PMO is no more just making a template of a project charter, and then just you say that, okay, we are done with this. Marisa will second me that PMO is much more way ahead than only making templates. And I'm pretty hopeful that though I'm participating as a speaker in PMO Global Awards, but I think I will be participating as one of the participants, going there to learn a lot from the other people. And I think this thing will goes on. This thing will goes on. And since the topic is role of women in project manager, the other speaker with me in that panel discussion is another lady from Iran. She's Mona. I think maybe Marisa knows her or not. She's from Iran. So it's one from Pakistan, and the other panel discussion, the other speaker is again a woman. So that's how it is. That's how things are changing.
Mhm.
So definitely, it's not lucky you, it's lucky us that we have you. We always praise that you are with us and providing us the insight of project
Thank
management and
you.
what is PMO. Thank
Thank
you,
you.
sir.
Thank you.
Dua, coming to you again.
Yes, sure.
If you are not bored, project management
Not
is
at
very
all.
broad.
How I can be bored. I mean, I am among such a great people. I'm listening to Marisa. I'm listening to Amna and Suresan. So it's privilege for me. Yeah, please.
Okay, that's good. Okay, how hard you felt about going into the project management field? Again, the question is again that the male dominant field. Uh, did you feel any hurdle about when you go into the market and meeting with stakeholders? As Marisa says that she is more likely to interact with people, interact with stakeholders, and project management is all about to like if we go to the specifics for the communication, that 90% of the time project manager do communication. So communication is with stakeholders, counterparts. So does it feel difficult for you to conduct any project in the context like for the male communication and stakeholders?
Okay. See, it's a very vast question, right? It's a very generic question. So I have basically experienced a lot of things, not one, right? Um, if I answer you this, that do I feel difficulties? Then it's a yes, and then it's a no as well. Yes, in a way that see the acceptance of women in our society for anything new comes very late. When women jump into anything which is new to her or new to the society, it's very hard for society to accept it, right? So, for example, if there are people or organizations that they're habitual of meeting male project managers to discuss with them the field work, the problems, the issues, the process, and everything. So uh, one day, instead of a woman goes to the office, and if they communicate about all these things, I mean, for some time, obviously, it's not so easy for a male to accept them. Oh, I mean, how a woman is going to do a field work? She's so sensitive. She is so emotional. She's so delicate.
And
She
thank God for
cannot
that.
handle that project management. Pardon?
Sorry, Duane, I was just saying, thank God for that, that
It's
we are all those nice things.
yeah, yeah.
Sorry.
Yes, we do have. Yes, but a part of this, the best thing is, besides of having all these things, we can still be at the same stage of project management where the man is. Man does not have all these beautiful things, so they are managing the project but we are managing the project management field with having all these things. So initially, yes, it was a problem for me, and I think uh, uh, women do feel problems when she get into something new. But slowly, gradually, I think it's a norm that has to break, and it takes some time to break. And when the norm is broken, then it's very easy for a woman to jump into it. So when I started my ventures and I started meeting people, I started showing that how I'm managing the projects. Initially, it was hard to believe them, but obviously my consistency, my not giving up, leads me to the success. So at one point I say I felt the issues, but at a second point I say when I crossed that time, when I crossed that norm limit, everything was easy for me. In fact, male were, I mean, now I think they are more satisfied with women, because women, when women come into management, I again say they are better than male, because woman is doing the management thing since long. They haven't just started from the professional life; they've started this from the personal thing. So at one side, when we face the difficulties, at the other side, we have so many easy, ways as well to handle it. So I think it's vice versa, Omar.
Okay, thank
Yeah.
thank you, Dua. Amna, considering
Yeah.
Dua, what she said, like how to coordinate with the male counterparts when they do projects. One question is same that you can answer, but I want to add another question here. You're our alumni,
Yeah.
and you are a brilliant student. You got 4.0 CGPA all the time, and
Thank you.
you were
Yeah.
always pushing us that give me the 4.0, 4.0, right?
Thank
So
you.
considering that, uh, how you have achieved after MSPM over here, and again, this is a big question, but you can answer in detail. The last part is your thesis about the family and project management. Please elaborate what was that and how it can help for the coming ladies that they want to join as for the MSPM program here.
Yeah. Let me break this question into smaller parts. Firstly, let's talk about the gender part, that how male interact with females and how willing they are to accept females in these roles. Like, I think if yes, I would agree with Dwa. There are a lot of problems. There are a lot of complexities in that, because there is a mindset with few people that women are not as capable as men are, and how a woman can handle that in such a big project. There are so many men, and how a woman can be the leader. So but I would say that again, it's the mindset. If you have the skill set, if you do have the capabilities, if you are able to prove yourself, then I think after a certain time, after you have dealt with those problems and hardships, that's going to be the end of it. And considering the type of the organization, since I'm working in a multinational, there the culture is entirely different. We have a lot of females working there, and we don't feel any such kind of issues there that females cannot handle that. It's only the work, it's only the quality of the work that you are bringing to the table. And I think that's it. So I in my personal life, I haven't felt anything. In fact, I think women are better than men in many tasks. Like, they are better multitaskers. Even the women who if they're housewives and they're not even working in offices, they are managing so many things simultaneously: a kid, the food, the house, the kitchen, the husband, so many times, and so many things. And even for the working women, they are managing so many. I literally can't find any man that who is working also, who is studying also, who's managing kitchen, who's managing kids and doing everything without complaining. So we females, I think, have the natural capability of managing things all under one, all everything together, and I think that again without complaining. So for if you are good multitasker, I think that's project management is the right place for you. And then secondly, I think women are better planners, because they are constantly thinking. Even when they're watching movie, they are thinking something is going at their back of the mind, that what I have to do after this, and then all. So I think on the lighter note, women are better planners. So in project management, we give a lot of importance and significance to planning part also, because unless and until you're not going to plan significantly, we won't be able to implement that accordingly. And then another one thing, I think, the like Dua said, that about the management thing, my boss always says that the women are more organized and they tend to manage things better. So if you are more organized, and then again the communication, women, I think, they are in a habit of talking and talking. So they can communicate things well, and in a very interesting way, and bring all the people on the one page. So about the gender thing, I haven't encountered any such problem so far. And in fact, I feel that people are very much motivating and supportive in that context, that okay, a female is doing that, excellent, that's going to be a great opportunity. And secondly, your second question was about this program, that how I dealt with that, about
And
the
then
GP.
thesis, yeah, and then
Yeah.
thesis, and then, yeah.
Okay. So about this program, like there is a general notion in mind that few women would be in project management. And the sir, that sir would agree, we had few females and there were more males. But at the end of the day, I think I did well in the class. So it's only the skill set, and if you are there, you need to put your 100%, and you will be able to achieve the top of that. So there is no male and female in that. And then about the thesis, that my thesis was in accordance to this topic, and I did that, the work family conflict and family work conflict. how you are dealing with that, and what is the role of the gender in that, to bring the, basically it was about project citizenship behavior, how you can deal with project citizenship behavior, dealing with the both kind of conflicts at the same time. And then I use gender as the moderator and the flexible work arrangement, that how you can make female comfortable at that. Because I think projects are a right place for women, because you can also take different gaps in that. You are immersed in one project, you get into that, done with that, then you take a break, and then you tie up with your family, do the bonds again, and then come back after 6 months and you are again in current in the projects. So it's not like you cannot take off meanwhile. And in my one of the crux learning from my project was that in even in the project management, you need to give your 100%, that extra role behavior which is a requirement in the project management to make it more successful and even better. So what is required is that female encounter more kind of work family conflict, because the work is constantly interfering with the family, and the family is interfering with the work. So you need to manage that, and obviously alone you cannot manage that. You need to have some kind of support from the organization, and there I introduced the flexible work arrangements there for the women, in terms of telecommuting, work from home, and then flexible arrangements and flexible timings. So that was the crux of that. Yeah.
Thank you, Amna. Thank you so much. Marisa,
Mhm.
we are seeking a lot of things from you, like getting a lot of information from you. My last question is, the first part of that question is your PMO Global Alliance speech. You can
Mhm.
elaborate few things about from what you are going to speak at that platform. And the second thing is the advice you want to give, considering the women in Pakistan, that how can they become effective project manager?
Mhm. Okay, thank you. So regarding the PMO Global Alliance, being a Chief Community Officer, my speech is going to be about communities of practice. So the importance of working as a community, the benefits, all that collective learning that you can get if you work as a community. In fact, for the ones of you who might be familiar with the work of the PMO Global Alliance, one of the first products of the Global Alliance was the value ring methodology for creating PMOs. And that was created from the insights of people from all over the world working together to deliver, to build that product. So that is one of the realizations that working in a community can bring. What I'll be mentioning is all the other services that can also be gained, and all the other advantages that can be gained from working as a community. So we'll mostly focus about what is the purpose of a community, how that community works in practice from a PMO Global Alliance perspective. So how many members do we have, how the different hubs are geographically located. So some views about the current structure of the PMO Global Alliance, and also the plans for the future, working as a community of practice, as mentioned. Now, regarding and I hope you can all join, so you can register, it's free to attend, and the PMO Global Alliance Awards experience is going to be awesome, because we are going to have people from all over the world. That's indeed one of the things that I like about the PMO Global Alliance, the fact that it is so representative of all locations rather than just focusing always on the traditional ones. So we have PMOs attending from everywhere, and so many people who are passionate, who are experts in their field. So Asan being one of them, and we are quite happy to have Asan joining us too. So I think it's going to be a great opportunity for sharing, for learning, for also having some fun while knowing more about PMOs. Now, talking about my advice for anyone starting in project management, and I would say women or male, because the logic would be the same. I think that a good place to start is by finding yourself a mentor. That really made a difference in my career. I was fortunate enough to have someone that was there to steer my career, to let me know what good practice looks like, and to also challenge me, because that was also very important, not to accept things for granted, but actually apply some critical thinking. And I think a mentor can have a big role in doing so. So that would be my first advice. The second one would be to, if you have the opportunity, to volunteer, either in a community of practice or in a professional association that you might have. So in my case, I was part of the PMI chapter here in Portugal, and later with the IPMA Young Crew. And that is something that I highly enjoyed. I learned a lot, and it also provides a safe space for you to test your competences. Because if you are just starting, you might be scared to go straight to a project and then try to manage a team. if you do smaller projects in that safe environment that the volunteering community will provide you, I think that
I think we lost Marisa's voice, or she's disconnected. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think she. Marisa, can you hear me? Okay, Amna.
Yeah.
Same question is from you. What advice you want to give to the audience? I'm not talking about female, male. Go for any advice.
I would strongly recommend that go for the project management because there are so many benefits tied to that. Firstly, it's not related to any particular field. Like it can start from IT industry to FMCG sector, and then from construction to even filmmaking, and then from everything. So even if you are a doctor, still you have a lot of projects because you have a lot of patients and lot of surgeries you are going through. So project
Mhm.
management would just give you an idea that how you have to deal, how you have to go through the proper mechanism of achieving the efficiencies and specific results with successful within a given constraints. So I think project management is an emerging field, and there is less competition in it because if you visit the organizations, there are very few people who are project managers and yet qualified for the same post. They do not have any formal education, yet just have the experience. So if you have the qualification, the education behind that, so that's going to complement your experience, and that's going to be a wonderful combination. And then another one thing is that there are two roles, like either you can go for an operational role or you can go for the project management role. In the operational role, there is no learning. Exactly, you are doing the same thing again and again, the repetitive thing, and nothing new learning in your life. So that's going to be very boring and monotonous. But when you come to the project management, you're constantly coming up with new things. And these days, organizations, if they need to stay relevant in the challenging times, they need to produce different products and come up with the new. So in those relevant times, you need to produce more and you need to come up with new ideas. So I think project management is the right thing to get hold of and be there. So I think it's a good platform to be there.
Okay, thank you so much. Marisa, I think you lost your connection.
Yes, I'm sorry about that. It
It's
seems
okay.
so. So I'm now joining from my phone. I hope you can hear me and see me okay.
Yes,
Yes.
we can hear. Please continue.
So I don't know what part I went to or what part
The
it
advice,
stopped.
the advice
Okay,
part.
so three advices. The first one was about getting a mentor. That really helped me in my career, and I think it can help you too, to challenge your thinking, to steer your career. The second one was about volunteering. So if you find a community of practice or a professional association, that will provide a safe space for you to test your competences. And the third one was about networking. So you can use LinkedIn for that, or you can just find any other tools. There are many out there, but try to find people who share similar interests, and just feel free to knock on their door and ask, I would like to know more about project management. I would like to have a conversation with you. Let's go for a coffee and discuss, for instance.
That's right. There are very few people like this who we can approach, you know.
Well, you can approach me if you want. I'm sharing my LinkedIn details
Okay,
at the end.
that's good. That's good. That's great of you. Okay, thank you so much, everyone. Amna, Dua, and Marisa, Saresan. It was a wonderful session. If any one of you wants to give any final thought, you're more than welcome. Amna, starting from you.
I was,
Yeah,
I was just okay. I just want to add. I was, meantime, I was thinking that the next seminar would be the role of men in project management, because the amount of things that we had heard from these ladies, we'll be having a session to give men an understanding that
I am sure it's
don't be
going to be
jealous, don't be
wonderful.
disappointed. And we are going to tell them that your role is still intact, so don't be demotivated. And and the second thing, I was just imagining that we make a lot of plans, we baseline our plans, we make a lot of schedules, and still we face delays, and we are keep on doing this plan versus actual. And I was just thinking from the words that Dua said and Amna said, uh, women in role of a wife or a mother, I never seen any delay in the stuff that they are doing. Like I never seen a delay in the meal or getting the kids ready for school or any activity related to managing the house. They don't have any plan, they don't have any charter, they don't have anything, but still they are managing. And we have so number of plans, MS project, Primavera, and still we face delays. So now I think there's a time to learn from women, from especially under these roles. So thank you very much. Uh, I'm really honored to have these wonderful women with us and listening to their wonderful advice, and especially for the women and the female in Pakistan who are interested to enter into the field of project management. I think that this discussion will definitely give them a boost to help them understand and make a decision to start project management as a career. So that's all from my side, with a note of thanks for especially to Marisa. Marisa, definitely going to see you at PMO Global Alliance. So stay connected, and thank you, Dua, and thank you, Amna. Over to you, Kamar. You were asking something from Amna, so let's carry on.
Yeah.
Final thoughts, Amna?
Yeah, I would, to all the students and to all the genders, especially the women, I would strongly recommend if you enter this area of project management, because that's going to simply enhance your knowledge and you can map it on all the fields. And yes, it's a forum, it's not for male only. You can, because I have seen that many females link this project management thing with construction and IT only. So it's not this way. You can go into every field and you can just map it there, just nail it there. So all the best, and thank you so much for inviting me here.
Thank you so much, Amna. Thank you. Grateful. Dua, final thoughts.
Yes, sure. I will give my advice very generic to everybody who is listening to me. Um, uh, Whoever is listening to me, I believe whatever you are going to do in your life or whatever you're doing currently, whatever your plans are, my suggestion is that do learn project management skills. Either you are a housewife or you officially want to be a project manager, or no matter what your field is. I think if you learn the skill of project management, whatever you will be doing, whatever, no field, no specifically field I'm talking about the generic way, that if you learn these skills, it is definitely going to boost your energy. It is going to solve you a lot of problems. It is going to lead you to one step ahead wherever you are at the moment. One thing. Second thing, for those who are making it a profession, they are thinking to go for, or doing it, or have done PMP. I recommend them one book they should read is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, if they haven't yet. So I think this is really going to be their, helpful for them for their project management profession. Yeah, that's all for everybody.
Thank God that book is not written for any gender, like not specifying it.
Yes.
It talking about people.
That's why I didn't give this advice for gender based only. I give this advice for everyone.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dua. Marisa, coming to you. Final thoughts.
For myself is actually just by hearing what Amina was saying. I remember that I need to work also on my PhD thesis, because it's like, so now for others would be that after hearing this webinar, I really think that project management Pakistan is in really good hands. So well done for that. And
Okay.
any assistance, if you want to just bounce ideas off, feel free to connect. You can find me on LinkedIn. I'm the Lucky PM.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marisa. We are honored. Thank you so much. Thank you. Okay. Take care, everyone. Thank you so much. So thank you, Sarasan. Thank you, Marisa. Thank you, Dua. Thank you, Amna. Take care.
Thank you, man.
Thank you very much. Hats off to everyone. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Okay.
Thank
Bye.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Bye.
you.